Good morning, millennials.
Welcome back to The Toast and happy Thursday, a really relaxing sort of day, although it should be Friday. So I'm feeling like the theme of today's episode is injustice.
Isn't that the theme of every episode, La Turt?
It's so true. When you have a chip on your shoulder like we do, every day is like Injustice Day.
It's true, but it is Thursday, which is exciting. Latter half vibes.
It is.
Merch is out. We actually slayed this collection because we made enough merch to wear every day of the week. Because tomorrow I can still wear my oversized toasty tee.
Yeah.
Today I'm wearing my girly swirly university set. Yeah, I graduated from GSU.
Whoa, I mean, talk about getting an education.
Talk about a mind.
Oh, wait, you know what I did yesterday? I didn't even talk to you. We didn't FaceTime yesterday. Once again, Ben coming between us.
He was home last night. I could sense it.
Well, he's not home tonight, so like just...
Oh, but
just
I'm
wait.
not home. Actually, I'm home. I'm home. But I have a big... I'm doing something big today. I'll tell you guys all about it tomorrow. You already know.
What is Jackie doing
Think
today?
about what the PR company I told you that they reached out.
Oh, Jackie's a big day. Yeah, okay. You guys, it's like literally like not even that crazy. It's like
Not at all.
Whatever.
Not at all.
Well, what I did yesterday was kind of like make a dream come true, and that dream was my own. Added to the list of dreams we accomplished in the month of November. I went on the Glee podcast officially.
You did say you were going to do a podcast yesterday and you couldn't text for an hour, and I didn't even ask which podcast it was.
Yeah,
Glee
it was
podcast.
the official Glee one, and that's what you really missed on Glee.
How was it? Was it everything you dreamed of? What episode did you recap?
It wasn't a recap. It was just like interviewing, famous Gleeks. And so we just talked like
Famous
a lot
Gleeks throughout
about,
history?
Exactly. About like my POV, like my experience watching Glee. And then obviously I was peppering them with questions. They were peppering me with questions, hosted by Tina and Artie. Yeah, also known as Jenna and Kevin, but to me they're Tina and Artie. And I don't know when it's coming out. I think actually soon. It was really good. I'm excited for my fellow Gleeks to hear it.
That's really exciting. I'm glad they still allowed you on despite Ben.
Yeah. Well, I brought up Ben. And so one of the hosts, Jenna, is a toaster. And so I had a feeling she might have heard what Ben had said about Artie. And I like definitely was going in like feeling uncomfortable. So I brought it up first because Ben was like going on and on about Artie on our Halloween episode. And I'm like, Ben, you can't just like say stuff like that. So I brought it up first just to like sort of get it out of the way. And nobody seemed offended. Like they were cool.
Phew. Phew.
Huge sigh of relief.
Major. I finished my book last night. You guys don't read it. Something happened. Frida, it's not like, I think Frida was usurped. Like I think someone wrote under her name. Like it was not Frida. It was a mess.
I think that Frida is like actually under too much pressure. Like she had too much success too soon. And, she's like an official writer of Amazon. Like she's like a kid. She has a big Kindle Unlimited contract. And I think she owes them like X amounts of manuscripts per quarter. And I think she's buckling under the pressure of Amazon. Like I think Jeff Bezos' boot is on her neck.
No.
And I think we're seeing that reflected in the work.
I think Frida could like write these books in her sleep and someone took over Frida's name. Like maybe she even outsourced, like, okay, they want all these books from me, like, you know how to write in the Frida style, and like maybe for some people it passed as Frida. It was not a Frida Rita.
It was not a Frida Rita. And the Frida Rita that I read that was not a Rita either was called The Coworker.
Okay.
So just putting it out there.
This one was called The Boyfriend. The Boyfriend.
Put it on the list of like Frida books that are not Rita-ing in the way that they should.
Oh, I didn't bring my pad and paper up here. My pad.
What do you mean? You like literally just get like my pad and paper. Just get a pad and paper and leave it up there.
I have pads downstairs and papers.
I finished Outer Banks.
Wow.
I did. Our conversation yesterday got me talking about it, and Ben has been like hawking me a chai Nick, like want to finish Outer Banks.
He's so Outer Banks.
He's obsessed with Outer Banks. Like he loves it, and like the experience I'm having, where it's Jackie. Like when I thought it couldn't get any more unrealistic, they take a boat from South Carolina to Morocco. Like. Like it's so stupid. I actually can't participate.
What kind of boat?
Like, they steal this like fishing boat. And they get caught. They get caught in like a crazy storm. They're in the middle of the ocean in Africa. There's a storm a mile ahead and they drive straight into the storm. 2 people fall off the boat. And it's waves like you would only see in movies. And the whole thing was AI generated. And like they made it out alive. Like boat is intact. Like it's too unbelievable for me.
And
but
what
Ben
was
is
in
obsessed
Morocco?
with it. The Blue Crown, of course.
Oh God, no. No.
Yeah, it's really so silly. Ben is obsessed with it. So like, I was happy to not finish it. Like I read a spoiler. I'm like, you know what? It's good enough for me. But Ben was hacking me all night. Like, want to finish Outer Banks? And it's either that or Harry Potter. He wants to watch the next one. Like, I need a serious break from Harry Potter. So I gave him Outer Banks.
Okay, that is so fair. That is so funny. The Blue Crown.
Jackie, and I actually, like, the last episode was so long. I fell asleep, like, with 20 minutes left. So Ben was telling me what happened this morning in the last 20 minutes. And his description was so crazy, but I know that that's what happened. I'm like, there's no way all of this happened in 20 minutes.
Wait, but in the last season that I watched, didn't it end with them finding like some sort of treasure? They like give some to like a museum. They're esteemed in the community.
Yeah.
So do they have money now?
Oh, well, they did. Yes, they did.
And what happened to their money?
They decided to, I actually really liked where it was going at first. They were like, listen, we have, and it's not money for life. Between the 6 of them, I think it was like $1 million or something. And they decided to like invest in land. Like the house that John B owns and then the house JJ grew up in was up for sale at foreclosed, like it was being foreclosed on. So they wanted to buy it and start a business where like people can buy bait from them. They have like a little garden, like, and they were all going to live on like a commune, very much like a kibbutz, like honestly. And when they went to go buy the land that JJ's dad, who's like a fugitive on the run, foreclosed on, someone was also trying to bid it. So it was a property that was worth about like $50,000, $60,000. They spent $750,000 on it. So like they were being stupid from the get-go. And then they had like this little bit of money reserved for property taxes. And of course, JJ steals it and uses it on some bullshit. Like he bet on a race or something. Like, so they had tried to be like smart with the money, but they ended up being dumber than anybody could have been. And it was actually, and I'm like, a big priority of mine is like financial, like it's like one of my priorities in life is like financial stability and financial literacy. And to see, and I'm not reckless with my money. I'm really not. Some people like to watch like 6 idiots be so reckless.
No, and it's frustrating that like all of the seasons, like John J had this house
John B
that they always could go to, and then the second he comes into money, like, oh, we need to pay for the house.
Yeah, no, and by the way, it's next door to John. So they built this, like, they called it Poglandia. Like, actually, the more I talk about the show, the more embarrassed I am to have watched it.
That
like,
sounds like something.
So they build this compound, which like between JJ's house. And they build like a clubhouse.
And all of a sudden they're next door neighbors.
Yeah, that was a new development that I just sort of went with. Like,
yeah.
And for like 20 minutes in episode 2, like they had a thriving business and the people in the community loved it. On their dock, they had this bait shop so people could drive up in their boats, buy snacks, bait, merch. Like it was a good idea and people in the community loved it. And then of course, like their property taxes get raised and they don't have enough money, so they have to go to court. Like,
and like what happened a year ago when they had no money and property taxes got raised?
They didn't own this big piece of property.
Who was paying the rent?
I don't know who
like
was paying for John B's house.
All of a sudden, the financials are a question?
No, all of a sudden they're tax-paying individuals because yeah, they were all like squatting at John B's property that his dad bought. So he bought it, but like, what about the mortgage, the taxes, the insurance? Like, I don't know.
And where's John B's dad now? I know that he was alive. Sorry,
yeah.
Spoiler.
Yeah, then spoiler, he died.
Okay. When did I see him die? I think I did.
Did you see them find the city of gold?
Yes. Oh, okay. I remember now.
Yeah. Yeah, he like sort of sacrificed his own life for Pakistan.
And Ward gone.
Because
he tried to like steal in the 11th hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I remember. I totally forgot about all that. Thank you for, now I'm oriented in the show. I know where I am.
So it's this theme of the show is like genuine silliness. And like you really need to suspend so much disbelief. And like we were talking about acting. I'm a person who is like so firmly planted in reality. Like I had a really hard time.
Yeah, I understand.
And then like the moral compass of the show sort of like gets off kilter where they're all like actual criminals now.
Mm-hmm. Like they stole someone's boat. What's that guy's story?
Yeah, no, and they're not just like they're not. It used to be they would break the law like for the sake of something, and now they're just doing it like for fun. And I actually can't. Understood.
Well, I might still watch. We shall see.
It's just like prepare yourself for the silliness.
Oh, I will. It's Riverdale.
So, like,
it's seriously Riverdale by the sea.
It's Riverdale by. I love that. Riverdale by the sea.
So, yeah. Anything else new with you, Latert, since we don't talk anymore?
Now that we don't talk, what's new with me? You know, I tried a pop-up bagel yesterday.
I've had one before.
And it's very rare that like these hype things, like there's a lot of food foodie stuff, whether it's restaurants or companies that get like so much hype on social media. And I never end up trying them because like most of the time it's not anything that would entice me. But Ben got a delivery yesterday. They had like a collab and I had one of the bagels.
Who were they collabing?
Ben's like favorite. What is that? Pickle de gallo?
Yeah.
You know that stuff Ben loves? They made like a cream cheese with them. Oh. So Ben got it and tried it. And there was like 15. Of course, Ben got like 20 bagels.
Yeah.
And oh my God, they're literally amazing. Like, and I know you're going to say like, how can a bagel be like, what's different? It's a bagel. No, it's not. It was so fucking good.
The presentation is really good and really fun. They popped up down here like a few months ago and Zach like came home with the whole smorgasbord and it was a good fun thing. And I actually realized I had a pop-up bagel this weekend because the restaurant I was dining at serves pop-up bagels.
Like they're good. Like I feel like I'm always
tasty.
clowning on like things everybody likes. And this is something that everybody likes for good reason. Like
but it's also
really good.
It is hard to do like a bad bagel.
Actually,
like you could
agree.
have a bad bagel, like if you're not trying, you know, some places have stinky bagels, but like it's a delicious thing. It's not. I have
a hot take. You know who has bad bagels, and they actually need to do better. Like as a brand, Starbucks.
Do not get a bagel at Starbucks.
I mean, I have like many times.
That's
and it's
crazy.
Never good.
And you live in New York City. They should.
No. At Jackie, at like an airport, I never like go instead of like a bagel. No.
But Starbucks New York locations shouldn't even have bagels on the menu.
Or they should like source local bagels.
Yeah.
Something. It's disgraceful. They're so bad. They're like worse. They're like what you get in a Delta Sky Lounge. Like,
honestly, they're same for Dunkin', not good bagels.
And these are like breakfast places. These are chains of breakfast. And so they should be putting a little bit more of their Starbussy into their bagel selection. They should do a Q-Lab with perhaps Pop-Up or one of those bagels.
They should put their Starbussy into a lot of their items, like most of them.
Yeah.
Maybe start with their coffee.
Except when I'm criticizing Starbucks, which I often do, just know I'm not talking about their sourdough grilled cheese.
That's a good item.
And I think it's really important to have people in your life who are constantly teaching you new things, like friends that you can learn from. And for me, like one of the greatest things Brian Kelly ever did for me was like, actually, I was in this studio. We were driving to the Hamptons. He picked me up after the toast. He's like, oh, I got you Starbucks. Like I picked you up a grilled cheese. And I'm like, wait, they have grilled cheese at Starbucks? I had never heard. When I tell you it was the most delicious thing. And I get them all the time because Ben goes to Starbucks every morning. And sometimes I'm like, yeah, I'm being fat. I'm like, grab me one of those grilled cheeses.
Throw it in.
It's huge. It's oily. It's cheesy. Like, you know, it's 10,000 calories. It is absolutely divine. Not enough people know about it. It's kind of like a secret menu item.
Oh, secret project.
Check it out next time you go. I know you don't go to Starbucks, but the next time you do, check it out.
I don't. My husband goes all the time. I like their egg bites. I'll say that. They're a little needlessly oily, but they're good.
Are your kids obsessed with cake pops yet? Like, I know that's like a part of like modern children's.
I mean, if I gave them one, they'd be obsessed, but they don't know what that is.
Yeah. You'll be making them at home in no time.
Oh, how cute.
Yeah. Oh, I have to say something, and I don't mean to embarrass my husband, but the absolute craziest thing happened last night.
What?
So at like 4-ish, we were deciding on dinner, and we're like, you know what, let's like have like a good dinner. Like, let's really treat ourselves. So we went to the kosher grocer, and he got like 2 huge ribeyes.
Oh, for cooking.
He cooked up this feast, and I'm like sitting on the couch, and he's making me dinner, and it's just like a great night, you know? And the house smells good, the smoke alarm's going off, like it's good. And we sit down, and whenever we make steak, Ben puts the steak on cutting boards and cuts it up, and then we just like eat straight off the cutting board. So I'm like looking at all the different pieces, I'm like, you know, I'm very particular.
Yeah.
Grab a piece, and like, he was like, how is it? And Ben makes really good steak, so like I wasn't even concerned. And it was like literally, it was horrible. And I was like,
how?
Oh. I was like, it just tastes like a little bland.
Okay.
And then he was like, oh my God. I forgot to like season the steak, like marinate it or whatever before. Like I just put it on the grill.
But can't you do that?
No, I'm sorry. Like Worcestershire, salt, pepper, oregano, whatever.
Salt, pepper.
No. I ate a plain steak.
He just forgot to cook it?
Yeah. And I was like, are you okay?
Did he like it?
Well, at first, before he realized his mistake, he took a bite. He's like, I think it's good. I'm like, no, you don't. Then he was like, wait. And he started to put Worcestershire on it like after.
Oh.
Yeah, but like Worcestershire is something that needs to be cooked. Like
100%.
Like,
it might as well have raw egg in it.
Yeah, exactly. And I was so like quiet mad. I was like, not me. You made me wait like 2 hours, and this is what I ate.
That's
like, actual
insane. Did he have it with like steak sauce? Because you can really dress anything up.
Of course, you know, he made like a blend of Ben can make anything work.
Of course, he made a blend.
And And I went to bed hungry, and I just thought, like, he walks around, celebrity chef, you literally forgot to marinate your steak. Like, he needs to be shamed for that.
Season it. A little
Crazy,
seasoning.
No? And then he blamed me. Wait, he blamed me.
How?
He was like, oh, well, I really didn't want to make a dish, so I was, like, planning on seasoning it, like, whilst still in the packaging. And, like, obviously I forgot. But because, like, whenever I tell him to cook, I'm like, just try and, like, be prudent with the amount of dishes. Like, I always say, like, don't make a ton of dishes. So he, like, literally used that against me.
I see. It's a really good strategy on his part.
It is.
But I'm not buying it.
I'm not buying it either. Like, look at me. Do I look frail and weak? I didn't have dinner last night.
No, that's so crazy because I had the opposite experience because I actually had so much beef last night. I don't know if you saw my story, but I made hamburger meatballs.
I mean, you do look jacked. Like, seriously.
Oh, I'm swole, bro.
I did see your story.
I made hamburger meatballs, which... Are they just meatballs? Like, no, because I season
They're not meatballs. They're more hamburgers than they are meatballs.
Yeah, because it's all about the seasoning. Like, I didn't use Italian seasoning. I just seasoned them the way I would season a hamburger. But, like, a girl can't make a hamburger. It just can't be done. Like, I don't use my grill. I'm not making it on the stove. But I can make a meatball. So I made them into little balls. And they were so tasty. Hamburger meatballs. But it's also all about the vibes, too. Because, yes, technically the ingredients aren't that dissimilar from an Italian meatball. But it's the vibe with a little ketchup, a little cheese, a little pickle, tomato, onion.
Like, girls can't make hamburgers. I'm in complete agreement. Unless, like, at the kosher grocer, they actually sell prepackaged patties. Like, unless the patties are made and they put, like, garlic and onion, they make them for you.
Let me ask you, how would you cook that?
Ben taught me. It's 4 minutes on each side. Like, it's actually incredibly easy.
I tried to make a hamburger on the stove once, and I didn't love the results.
The Caraway cast iron, that's what I use.
I like to put meat in the oven. Ben and I always talk about this. He likes to cook meat on the stove. He doesn't like to use the oven when he cooks. I like to dress up my food and put it in the oven so I know when it comes out, it's ready. I don't have to keep checking it, thermometer. Like, I just know.
My problem is, like, why is it that you can make a patty, no matter how, like, long and flat you make it, like, it ends up in a round ball? Like, why does it always shrivel up? Like, how do you even make a smash burger? Like, every time I've made a hamburger, it, like, shrivels up, like, to a testicle.
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know. But that's why I just went straight for the meatball shape, and it was really good.
We are all doing what we have to do to survive. And I get that. And, like, you got dinner on the table for you and your family. And anyone who has anything to say about that will talk to me first.
And we had plenty of beef. We had beef between our teeth.
I've got beef between my teeth. It would be lost without my flaws. The way that episode of Sweet Life of Zack and Cody had such an impact on me individually, and, like, only me and my group of, like, friends from high school are obsessed with it. Like, I feel as though it's not, like, a cultural thing that everybody, like, talks about and references. I don't even know what it was about, and I just know it was the kid from Ugly Betty, Betty's sister's
Justin Suarez.
Justin Suarez. I was going to say Justin Guarini. Justin Suarez. He has Justin Guarini energy in that episode of Sweet Life of Zack and Cody where he leaves it all on the stage.
Yeah.
So, like, that's just something that meant a lot to me. I forgot
he left no crumbs.
He ate and left no crumbs, exactly.
So try out hamburger meatballs if you are looking for a fun
if you're also struggling.
family-friendly dish and you've got ground beef and you don't know what to do with it.
I just know that Ben's not home for dinner tonight, so, like, I will be eating, like...
What are you craving, turd?
Like, I'm just going to be eating, like, eat what I find. Oh, you know, you have those pop-up bagels.
You'll be scavenging.
It'll be rough for me.
Okay,
like,
well, I'll FaceTime you because at least we'll have that. Like, with Ben, you'll go hungry. Without Ben, you'll go hungry, but you will be, like, emotionally fulfilled. Not that you wouldn't be with Ben, but sisterly fulfilled.
Yeah, it's kind of like a different sort of fulfillment.
It is a different fulfillment center.
For sure. So Thursdays are great because they're very relaxed, right? Like, Wednesday, we had so much to do between the merch launch and Dear Toasters. I definitely felt, like, a little bit on edge throughout the entire experience.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. And I got through it. And I think everybody really enjoyed. So that's great. Today, Thursdays, I find so relaxing. It's like the day before Friday. We have nothing to do. Friday, we have Queenie and Weenie. We always like to, like, wrap things up. Today, we can just, like, talk, you know?
Yeah. We actually have some really funny random stories.
Funny?
Yeah. I'm excited to get into some of them. And I guess, like, without further ado, we could do that.
I wasn't bringing up the run of show, like, for the purpose. Sometimes I do bring up the run of show for the purpose of, like, you know, moving into the second half. But if you have anything else you want to chat about, I'm open to chatting.
No, I feel as though we've dillied and we've dallied.
Okay.
And we could get into the Fast 5 stories that you need to know.
I mean, you don't have to tell me twice. The Fast 5 stories that you need to know are brought to you by Sonos. So Sonos is the world's leading sound experience company. They invented the smart sound system. They made it easy to play anything in any room. And today, millions of listeners around the world know and love them for the products that look as beautiful as they sound. And with the holidays being here, Jackie and I are excited to be working with Sonos. As you guys can tell, we're wearing our Sonos Ace headphones. They just released their first pair of headphones ever. They're known for speakers, sound bars, and there was a lot of hype. Like, Sonos is releasing headphones. What are they going to be like? And the Sonos Ace are here. I have two pairs. One that I leave at the studio and one that I have at my house that I go on like all my walks with, that go to the gym with. I love them. They're Bluetooth headphones that you can literally never charge. I don't even know the last time I charged them. They always have battery. The battery lasts so long. The audio experience is what you've come to know and expect and love from Sonos. And whether you're, a music person or you use headphones for work, like if you're looking to invest in like a really good pair of headphones, highly recommend the Sonos Ace. They're just fabulous. Also, with the holiday season around us, if there's someone in your life who's like, maybe wants to get into podcasting or likes to DJ or listens to a lot of music, that's a great gift to get for someone, like a really high quality pair of headphones. So cannot recommend them enough. Like I said, they're Bluetooth. They have amazing noise cancellation. You can connect it to your app. Like it's, they've got everything covered over at Sonos. They're really they're kind of living in the future. And my whole house is Sonos. I have the Move 2 speakers. Like it's a brand that I really know and love. So Sonos has great gifts for everyone on your list. Visit sonos.com/toast to wrap up your holiday shopping. That's Sonos, sonos.com/toast, sonos.com/TOAST. Today's episode is also brought to you by Athena Club, which is so appropriate because I actually shaved my legs yesterday, and I'm feeling really proud of it. So as soon as summer's over, you usually give up on shaving. It feels like a chore. You end up with nicks, razor burns, and you're showing less skin, so what's the point? But actually this summer I started using the Athena Club razor and I'm truly obsessed. I used to dread shaving, but Athena Club's products really make it feel so luxurious and easy. They're actually going to look forward to shaving. Not only is the razor absolutely gorgeous, it looks great in your shower. It's not bulky and ugly. It's also really gentle on your skin, so it'll leave your skin feeling moisturized, super smooth, and most importantly, bump free. It's definitely going to become a year-round essential in my routine, and if you're looking to maintain smooth skin all year long, investing in a better shaving routine will make an enormous difference on your skin, especially if you're shaving sensitive areas. I think a lot of us shave our legs and our armpits, but around your bikini line, it's such a thin area, the skin is really sensitive, that you want to be using better product. And the Athena Club razor has thousands of 5-star reviews from customers. It has a built-in skin guard to help prevent razor burn, and the razor blade is surrounded by water-activated serums like shea butter and hyaluronic acid. It's a holy grail for your skincare, and the best part is that their razor kit is only $10. It comes with 2 blade heads, a magnetic hook for the shower, and your choice of handle color. The handle color options are super cute, but they even have black and white ones if you're more of a minimalist looking bathroom. So show your skin your care with the Athena Club razor kit. Sign up today and you'll get 30% off your first razor kit order. Just go to Athena, ATHENA, Club, CLUB.com. Use our promo code TOAST, that's athenaclub.com, promo code TOAST for 30% off. Today's episode is also brought to you by AG1. So if you've been trying to find the perfect holiday gift for a friend, a partner, maybe it's time to realize that the perfect present is the gift of health, and AG1 will check that box. I think a lot of you guys are familiar with AG1. It's really popular on social media. And once you give it a try, you'll really understand why it's so popular. I feel like my husband is 1 minute away from getting on a commercial for AG1. That's how passionate he is about it. He actually met the CEO of AG1 and demanded to meet with her. They've become best friends. They text all the time. Ben is obsessed with AG1. Getting into a routine in the morning, I think, is really important, especially when it comes to your digestion. I think a lot of people, our age rely on coffee, and those aren't the best ways to get your morning started. And AG1 is really fabulous. With the added benefits of probiotics, prebiotics, and adaptogens, AG1 can help combat the stress of holiday schedules and help your digestion and support your energy. So you pour it into water, chug it. You'll literally notice a difference immediately. Ben is really passionate about getting everyone in his life. His dad recently started AG1 and Ben keeps telling me about it. It's really funny. So this holiday season, try AG1 for yourself or even gift it to someone else. It's the perfect time to focus on supporting your body with an easy and surprisingly delicious daily healthy drink. That's why we've been partnering with AG1 for so long. And every week of November, AG1 will be running a special Black Friday offer for a free gift with your first subscription, in addition to the welcome kit with the vitamin D3 and K2. So make sure to check it out at drinkag1.com/toast to see what gift you can get this week. That's drinkag1, the number 1, drinkag1.com/toast to start your holiday season off on a healthier note, only while supplies last.
Thank you, while turd lasts.
You're welcome, while turd lasts.
Our first story, some exciting news to update you on, because I feel like we never have an update. But Hoda Kotb's Today Show replacement has been revealed nearly 2 months after her exit announcement. So there's 2 things here, her Today Show hour and then Jenna, which we'll get to. But first, it has been revealed that Craig Melvin will be taking over for Hoda Kotb when she exits the Today Show on January 10th. Craig Melvin is the new anchor of the Today Show. Savannah Guthrie gushed of one of those popular decisions NBC News has ever made. Hoda said to Craig, "You were made for this job. You will have all the things that this job needs. You're the right person for it." Al Roker said that he did not have the words, but he was so happy for his colleague. As for Craig, he's excited and grateful. He said it meant a lot to inherit the role from Hoda, as she is the heart of the show. He said, "This is the latest in a long line of blessings." He will continue doing the third hour today with Al Roker, Chanel Jones, and Dylan Dreyer. He said, "I talked to mom and dad yesterday, and I'm thankful they're still young enough and healthy enough to be able to see this." So that was really sweet. Meanwhile, the fourth hour, Hoda and Jenna, will transition into Jenna and Friends, where Jenna will, quote, date different co-hosts until they find the right fit. But I would just say,
it's Jeopardy.
Make haste.
It's Jeopardy.
It's Jeopardy. I do prefer a decision, but I understand, like, you got to see how the shows actually go.
By the way, I saw this Craig news this morning, and for me, like, I don't know if I'm unique in the fact, like, I don't care who replaces Hoda when she's, like, doing the news. Like, that's the job a million people could do. Like, to sit in Kiki and talk to celebrities, like, that's so interesting, and I think that requires such a different skill set. And so that's been my focus. Like, that's who I'm really eager to see. So happy for Craig. Like, I'm really, like, he's a cutie. I really don't know much about him. He'll do a great job. I don't care. I didn't realize that they had, like, made somewhat of an announcement when it comes to the Jenna thing. I thought they just announced
they slipped this in. They slipped this
and I hate this. This is exactly what you said. Exactly what you said when we were talking about this, like, that they not do the Jeopardy thing where they try out a million people. People stop caring.
Yeah.
And it didn't work for Jeopardy because they ended up hiring the person they meant to hire the first day they found out Alex Trebek died, but they didn't because he had some old tweet about someone in a wheelchair. Like, they should have just made that decision day one because it got so stupid.
Because if they announce someone right now, or say, give Craig his moment, announce someone next week, this is who's going to be with Jenna, like, there'll be so much excitement and fanfare as opposed to just, like, everyone sort of losing interest, and then it's like, this person is the best. Like, and also, if I was that person, and I feel like people come through the Today Show all the time, I'm surprised Jenna doesn't have or maybe it's not up to Jenna, but I feel like she would know who she'd like to do it with.
If she had a preference, like, she could definitely push it forward. I feel like she really likes Justin Sylvester, and I think the culture really likes Justin Sylvester. I think he's a great choice. And I'm sure they'll have, like, 3 or 4 people in rotation, and it'll become clear, like, who the favorite is based on, like, you know, social media and ratings. But I hate this. I can't lie.
I would love to see who is even an option, like, who these friends will be. Because, of course, like, Justin Sylvester comes to mind for us because we know that he co-hosts a lot and, like, we love him. But I wonder who are, like, the obvious names for this.
In rotation.
Yeah, I'm looking. Like,
who are they saying?
Who will even be on Jenna and Friends? Who are the friends?
Right, and is it people that we know have already guest co-hosted, or are these people Jenna's putting forward for the job? Like, people in her life?
Right, maybe other hosts out there.
Yeah, because it's like Justin, who else? I know Heather co-hosts. Who else does, like, frequently,
but we only,
not
like,
just
know
one
that
time.
because we follow them on Instagram.
Yeah, it's like in our circle, yeah.
So I'm sure
there are other people.
If we followed other people on Instagram, let me go look. What's their show called? Hoda and Jenna.
Yeah.
I do like the name Jenna and Friends, I just want to say.
I know, but I feel like it's like a bad, like, think about Kelly Ripa.
It's hard to see who's a hosting and who's a guest.
I think that it's a bad precedent. Like, when you think about Kelly Ripa, when you don't immediately make a decision, like, it's just bad. And I feel like with the Regis and Kelly show, or however it started, I forget, Regis and Kathy, every time somebody left, boom, there was a new person. And, you know, we all got with it. Like, it became Regis and Kathy, Regis and Kelly, Kelly and Ryan. No, Kelly and Michael. Like, every time they switched the names of the show, like, we all just kind of got on board, and it became it was like a part of the vernacular. We had an easy time. We're like, yeah, Kelly and Ryan, Kelly and Mark, Kelly and Michael. And I actually think, I know she's had her issues, but that's a really good example of how to transition someone out of a role quickly, and just, like, the public gets on board. They just do.
Yeah.
But when you dilly-dally like this, like, it's silly.
Make a choice. That's always what I'm saying.
Make a choice. I don't like this.
They could also be testing people, like, behind the scenes, you know. They don't have to do it all in the
Yeah,
public.
but I think they knew Hoda was leaving for a little while. And I think that anytime one of them was off, they were testing people.
Yeah.
I think they've been testing people for, like, a year.
Yeah, I think they think that this will drum up excitement, but I think it's going to be the opposite. I think it will drum up exhaustion.
Agreed. It's Jeopardy.
But congratulations to Craig Melvin. The job a million girls would kill for.
It's so true. And you know what? Like, you love to see journalist roles going to journalists. I think that's kind of rare these days. It's usually an influencer.
It's so true. Maybe it'll be an influencer with Jenna.
I would love that.
But probably someone a bit older. I actually feel like if I thought long and hard about it, we could come up with some good names. You know, like
but it is so much about chemistry.
If you even pulled from all of those like talk shows that went away, like
Meredith Vieira, Bethany.
No, like The Talk, Real.
The Real, yeah. There's a lot of swirlies who have good hosting, daytime background.
Right.
Adrienne Bailon,
where'd all those
Love.
girls? Right.
Garcelle.
Amanda Klutz.
Yeah, the Chew.
The Chew. So go over there. Maybe there's something
Daphne
there.
Oz.
Daphne Oz. I like her.
She's dazzling.
She is dazzling.
She's a nice life. I like following her on social media.
Yeah. So are you ready for our next story?
Yeah.
Which is sort of the hot gossip of the day.
Oh.
Teddi Mellencamp allegedly cheated on her husband, Edwin, with her married horse trainer, and a heated confrontation ensued. So we went from knowing absolutely nothing about this divorce to now I feel knowing too much.
Agreed. And not in the way, like, I don't know why I just assumed, like, Edwin was the villain, not Teddi. Like,
right. So apparently, Teddi Mellencamp cheated on her husband with a married friend. An insider with direct knowledge of the situation told Page Six that she allegedly stepped out on him several times with her longtime pal, whose then wife was also a close friend. So this guy has been identified. His name is Simon Schroeder. He's her horse trainer, and his wife, his name is Carly Postal. That just will be germane as we go forward. So the two of them have 2 children, and apparently when Teddi and Simon were in Florida together for an equestrian event while his wife was in California in labor with their second child. His wife thought it was suspicious that her husband was in Florida when she was giving birth. When he returned to LA, the insider says that she allegedly discovered inappropriate text messages between him and Teddi, which led to a heated public confrontation. Apparently, They confessed. Teddi promised it would not happen again. And the wife didn't tell Edwin when she found out because she was willing to give Simon another chance.
Oh, wow.
However, Daily Mail source said that the wife learned last month that the alleged sexual relationship not only continued, but also became emotional. So she told Edwin. Then Teddi filed for divorce so that Edwin did not have the chance to file and get her for adultery. It has been alleged that the marriage ended because Edwin cheated on Teddi, but it's actually the other way around, this Daily Mail source says.
Justice for Edwin. Not us all dragging his name through the mud, like with literally no proof.
But the timeline is so confusing to me because she filed for divorce on November 1st and listed the date of separation as October 20th, even though they were packing on the PDA at a charity event 4 days later.
Isn't that like lying to the government?
I have no idea.
Like falsifying documentation?
No,
I'm
unless
literally
it's
like
true.
that scene in Elle Woods, like
unless it's like true, like maybe they were like splitting, maybe they had like one great last night together.
Yeah, I mean, I guess anything's possible. Plausible deniability. They were just putting it on for the cameras.
Yeah, or they were like, let's just give them a show.
The craziest part of this whole saga is the wife finding out and not telling Edwin. Like, I guess at a situation like that, like, it's every man for himself. Like, I'm trying to protect my family, my marriage. She owes nobody anything. Like, bitch, I'm just trying to get through this. But I never thought about, like, if a spouse finds out, like, do you tell the other spouse?
I guess it all depends on the relationships. But I guess she didn't want to make the whole thing bigger than it was if she was going to give him another chance. And she just sort of wanted to go away. So what if Edwin found out, left Teddi, and Teddi becomes single, and now she's hanging around your man's?
Right.
And you're trying to make it work, and you have a baby.
And I so didn't see this for Teddi. I think, like, the Teddi that we got to know on the show, like, she was very much like a pushover. Like, she wasn't making strong decisions.
But I also feel like she was very, like, much, she acted as a moral character.
Yeah.
So this is really surprising, but it's also, like, so Beverly Hills. Like, not the horse trainer.
Horse trainer, yeah. And, like, is it Stassi's brother?
It's giving the politician.
It's also, I think, made Teddi Mellencamp, at least to me, far more interesting. I don't know if interesting is a word I would have used to describe her up until this point. And so to see that, not that there's anything, like, admirable about having an affair, but it takes a set of balls. And I never saw that for her. Like, she didn't seem like a freewheeling kind of gal.
I guess, but also I know all she wanted was, like, privacy and not to speak on it. And I think when we thought it was something else, that could be the case. But now that this is all out there, like, she's gonna
privacy revoked.
No, she's gonna talk about. If she doesn't talk about it,
it's an admission of guilt.
And it's just hard because she has a podcast. Like, if this were a housewife who just, like, does the show, well, the other women will bring it up, but like post on Instagram, like we're not always
She's not even on the show anymore.
Right. No, but like when you have a podcast and we're always hearing from you.
No, not only that, and the concept of their show, they're like always digging in on other people. So it's like you can't dish it and not take it.
Yeah, no, if she were on the show, it would come up. But I'm just saying, like the podcasting, I feel like that's what we were saying about Brianna Chicken Fry. It's like when something is so out in the public about your personal life, that's something like I don't know. I just feel like it's really hard to navigate if you don't address it at all.
It is, and I think that's also like an important distinction whenever we're talking about like the difference between influencers and celebrities. Like celebrities really are afforded the luxury of that privacy. Like they don't have to speak. Like you're not doing it. You're not on press unless you're like in the middle of a press junket. But like if you're not working, like you can literally take 6 months of silence and like people will forget about it. But influencers, like your job is to constantly be making content, staying relevant, being on like the scene, and so it makes it virtually impossible to like deal with things privately.
Yeah. It's like
but there's just as much. It's like there's just as much intrigue in you as there is in celebrities. I would argue there's sometimes even more intrigue in like influencer drama or an influencer divorce than like a celebrity divorce, because there's like this weird parasocial relationship between like followers, and so you feel even more. Yeah. So you're getting even like more intrigue and sort of. There's like a higher level of interest than like even a traditional celebrity, and like you can't get away from it.
And for Teddi, there's a higher level of interest than if she was just a former housewife, like Camille Grammer cheated on her new husband. Like that just wouldn't.
Like, nobody would care.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's really crazy.
It's really crazy. So we'll keep you posted.
But that was the plot twist of the century.
Yeah. Speaking of rumored affairs, are you ready for this next one? Our favorite story of the year.
What?
Hugh Jackman's ex-wife, Deborra-Lee Furness, is subtly reacting to his alleged affair with Sutton Foster.
Okay, Debs, lay it on me.
Debs.
Because you know I ride for Debs, but like honestly in this situation, she's taking a back seat.
Yeah, no, but she's like spilling tea in her own way. So Hugh Jackman may not have been a free agent when he allegedly started his romance with Sutton Foster. He was married to Deborra-Lee Furness for 27 years. The two announced they were divorcing. Rumors have swirled over the past few months that he possibly stepped out of his marriage. And now the Australian actress, that's Deborra-Lee Furness, has seemingly reacted to the news of his relationship. So Deb liked a post from her private Instagram account of a gossip blogger, Tasha Lustig, claiming that Jackman had blindsided Deb by sharing his relationship with Sutton. Deb's friend, British media personality Amanda de Candinet, also weighed in on the allegations, writing in a comment last month, "You were on point with this one. My beloved friend Deb is about to have her glow up any moment, FYI." That's kind of like me.
I completely agree. That was like a beyond unnecessary comment for this girlie to make.
I just feel like they're trying to like get in there, but they're also just like
grown women.
Yeah. I don't think she realized what she meant by that. I think she was.
I think this might be their first rodeo.
I think she meant like she's about to have a moment, you know, not like
not like she's ugly.
A makeover. She's about to start glowing.
So this, I feel, might be a situation where we need to trust our faves.
Who's our fave in this situation?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I fear that I can see this being the reality, right? They worked on a project very closely together. They were both married, and now a year later, they're both divorced and in a relationship. So obviously, it's entirely possible that they fell in love, never did anything wrong, went home, divorced their partners, and came together only at a time where it was acceptable to do so.
However, the injured party could call that an affair because they fell in love.
That's not an affair. If you develop feelings for someone and you're in a relationship and you go home and end that relationship, like that's the right thing to do. You can't stop yourself from having feelings, but you can stop yourself from acting on those feelings.
Yes, but then think about really the timeline. Say you're like, at first it's just you feel this way about someone, but you're not going to leave your wife. You don't know if they feel that way about you. You kind of like need that confirmation, and then you're getting into emotional affair territory. It's really hard to do this in a clean way.
Okay, but I think
there is a world. Like you back?
Okay, that's a really good point. But I do feel like there is a world in which like you can find out that the other person likes you and you both go home and get divorced. Like, and that's not an affair.
But don't you kind of have to like see that through a little bit just to confirm if it's more than what you have at home?
Yeah, I mean, it's very reckless to not, but I think it's possible.
27 years?
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm trying to...
I know. I think they probably went about it in the best, most respectful way possible, and it can even hold space for maybe that it didn't even get physical until all was said and done. But the injured party can still say that's an affair.
Yeah,
it's an
so it gets
emotional
murky. And also, I think that, you can maintain that nothing happened between this person, but your wife is not going to believe you. You're leaving me over this person. You obviously fucked her.
Right.
So there's his story, her story, and the truth, right?
There's history and there's her story.
Well, you just said a mouthful there, sister. What am I choosing to believe? I'm choosing to believe that everybody's truth is their own.
I agree, and I'm choosing to believe that, of course, this wasn't the ideal situation. I believe that Sutton and Hugh went about it in the best way that they could have, while also betraying the people that they love.
Yeah, and I think that we have to hold space for, like, every generation. There's sort of like a once in a lifetime kind of love. And sometimes you have to hurt people for that. And I fear that Hugh and Sutton might just be that once in a lifetime kind of love.
He just like got in the way.
And it's unfortunate, but think about it like, okay, The Notebook, right? Allie and Noah, once in a lifetime kind of love. She was out here cheating on James Marsden.
Yeah, and he was a great guy too.
Yeah, he wasn't perfect, but he loved her and he wanted to marry her. And like, even if he wasn't, like infidelity, she cheated on him. But we all ship because we know what was at stake, and that was Allie and Noah, and like they were OTP. Think of Sutton and Hugh. I challenge you to think of Sutton and Hugh as more of an Allie and a Noah, and you'll see it very clearly.
That's just like, and people don't like this one, Camilla and Charles.
It's exactly like Camilla and Charles.
Yeah, it's just because it's not Ryan Gosling. You guys are singing a different tune.
And the thing is, if he wasn't Prince Charles at the time, he would have left his wife way sooner, but he was like legally barred from doing so. Well, he was begging his gran
married
for
her
a divorce
to begin with. And that's the real,
well, of course,
he should have been with Camilla from the beginning. And what, they said no to her because she wasn't a virgin, and how, and
yeah, by the way, Jackie's delivering absolute facts right now. It's Camilla and Charles.
So I feel like two lists are brewing here, and now I'm officially starting the list of couples we don't care about separately, but together we love, because now we have two instances this week.
Sutton and Hugh.
Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster, even though I did love Hugh Jackman before, and Olivia Munn and John Mulaney. Yes. Now we love them separately, but we came here.
Yeah. We come to this place for magic.
And then also, if you did want to do a list of like this of the Camilla Charles, like it's not pretty.
Where it's
True
not
love.
Okay, but it's understandable. Where situations where infidelity was understandable.
Here, I'm calling it true love trumping infidelity.
Allie and Noah. Because they're the blueprint.
Yes. And if you liked The Notebook, then you like this.
It's true. Allie and Noah, Sutton and Hugh.
Camilla and Charles.
Camilla and Charles. Feel free to sound off in the comments.
Ooh.
Any other situations where cheating just felt like it had to be done?
I feel more organized getting this down on paper. All week I've been like a mess trying to remember my references.
Yeah. Well, if you could just get that pad and paper, pad and pen, we would be all squared away.
That pad and pen.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that pad and pen.
Pad and pen, yeah.
I keep saying pad and paper, and I'm wrong for that.
Yeah, and then I said it.
How am I going to write?
And now we both look stupid.
How am I going to write when I just have two pieces of paper?
That's funny.
So that's the latest with
Furness.
Deborra-Lee Furness. And as Hugh would call her, he used to call her affectionately,
My Deb.
My Deb. Now he's not your Deb.
My Sut doesn't hit the same.
Are you ready for our next story?
I think a better question is, are you ready for our next story?
It's a great question because I'm not. This episode is brought to you by Huggies Little Movers.
Are you sure?
It is brought to you by Huggies Little Movers. Huggies knows that babies come in all shapes and sizes, and their tushies do too. Huggies has more curves and an outstanding fit. Moms know that there's nothing worse than an ill-fitting diaper, especially for your active babies. Nothing worse than a blowout, nothing worse than a leak unnecessarily just because the diaper didn't fit good or the diaper didn't hug or the diaper was given a wedgie. So I love Huggies because I can rely on them to keep my baby covered while they are moving around, whatever that looks like, crawling, walking, jumping. That diaper's got to move with the bebe. Huggies Little Movers are curved to fit all little curves, so my babies feel comfy and cozy no matter how much they're moving around, and they're moving around a lot. They also offer 12-hour protection against leaks, which is a game changer, especially on those overnight shifts. Like you don't want the diaper to be the reason why they're getting up. The diaper's got to do its job, and Huggies diapers gonna diaper. Diaper's gonna dipe.
It's kind of one of the most fact-based things you've ever said on this show.
Diaper's gonna dipe. So get your baby's butt into the best fitting diaper. Huggies Little Movers, we got you, baby. And we've got your baby.
And I think like the best part is it's really cute. Those little designs they have.
They
like,
do
the
collabs.
babies love it.
They're all.
You guys know I'm a very involved auntie,
Yes.
so I know these things.
So it's baby approved, mama approved, and auntie approved.
That's a 1,000% true.
And toast approved, which means something.
Huge approval from the community. Well, today's episode is also brought to you by Hill House Home. You guys are probably familiar with Hill House Home. They invented the viral nap dress. It's the most flattering and comfortable fit that has their signature smocking. You've probably seen it on celebrities like Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo, Anne Hathaway, Mindy Kaling, Jackie Oshry, Claudia Oshry.
I wore my nap dress all weekend. The nap dress has changed my life. I've always wanted to be someone who could wear a nap dress, and I found like 2 prints that are so gorgeous.
And I thought I couldn't be that person, mostly because of my height.
Because of my height, but no, the nap dress, wearing a dress like that is perfect for every occasion. Like as a mom, you can be wearing a dress, look nice, but like bend over, your tushy's not out. You could sit in like cross-legged. I was in the car sitting with my legs crisscross applesauce, so cozy and not inappropriate.
Yeah, no, it's really, it's kind of sisterhood of the traveling dress. Like it works for everybody.
No, and you're so comfortable, but you look so fancy.
And Hill House Home is known for so much more. Their commitment to comfort and style applies to all of their categories. They also sell amazing bedding, robes, and pajamas. And they also have a ton of fun monogram options too. I actually have a monogrammed robe that says Turdy on it. Their robes, I now have 2, I was just having this conversation with my friend Barry, like ranking the robes of America. Hill House Home is top tier. Like, because I'm also using robes, like obviously to walk around the house and stay warm, but I also use it after a bath. So it needs to be able to
absorption.
And I find that most robes are not prioritizing absorption. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. I love my Hill House Home robe. Like I feel like I'm in a Nicole Kidman movie, like so fancy.
And our code went from 15 to 20% off. So now you can get 20% off your order of $100 or more at hillhousehome.com. Our code is TOAST20. Again, that's code TOAST20 for 20% off your order at hillhousehome.com. Today's episode is also brought to you by HelloFresh. The holiday season is just around the corner, and we're all looking for ways to spend and stress less. Well, HelloFresh makes mealtime nearly hassle-free with delicious, home-delivered, chef-crafted recipes that come together quick and are less expensive than takeout. So whether you're craving hearty comfort food, trying to please picky eaters, or just looking for a calorie-smart meal plan, HelloFresh has all of these options and more on a rotating menu of 50 recipes to choose from every week. So we were talking about at the top of the episode, like why making dinner is so hard. Like it shouldn't be that hard. And HelloFresh is just out here like helping in the biggest of ways. First of all, it's a great way to have like balanced meals. And for me, whenever I do a HelloFresh, I always end up trying something I normally would never try. Like I would never make it myself, and I would never order it at a restaurant, like Mexican street corn pasta. But I had it, and it was literally delicious, and it was so easy to make. Like I have now successfully made probably like 10 HelloFresh meals. If I can do it, I swear to God, anyone can.
By the way, HelloFresh and I are on the same wavelength because someone sent me their menu item for this week is cheeseburger meatballs.
Oh, that's so funny.
So get your cheeseburger meatballs.
It's just a really, I think, like ordering in is not economical. It's not always the healthiest. And I think if you're trying to prioritize those two things, like cooking more for your health, then I really recommend HelloFresh. You can also get 10 free meals at HelloFresh.com/free toast. It's applied across 7 boxes. It's for new subscribers only, and it varies by plan. So that's 10 free HelloFresh meals. Just go to HelloFresh.com/free toast. Thank you, HelloFresh, for sponsoring today's episode.
Oh, thank you, Claudia. I'm enraptured in our 5th story, but I'm going back to our 4th story.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going back to our 4th. Our 4th story, you're not going to like it. It's very chewy, but we've got to break it down. Sydney Sweeney is calling out Hollywood Industries, quote, women empowering other women's stance. She said all of it is fake. I saw this. So Sydney Sweeney is calling out some people in Hollywood who tear another woman down privately while publicly proclaiming they are empowering women. In a new interview with Vanity Fair, she cited the industry's attitude of, quote, women empowering other women as untrue. This is what she said, quote, it's very disheartening to see women tear other women down, especially when women who are successful in other avenues of their industry see younger talent working really hard, hoping to achieve whatever dreams that they may have, and then trying to bash and discredit any work that they've done. She said this entire industry, all people say is women empowering other women. None of it's happening. All of it is fake and a front for all the other shit that they say behind everyone's back. She noted that there are so many studies and different opinions on the reasoning behind it, and said that it's a generation problem to believe only one woman can be at the top.
So it feels like she is citing a specific instance, like something obviously happened to her and she's making like sweeping generalizations about the industry. Although I do see this, like, I feel like we had that conversation when it came to Olivia Wilde, right? When that video, Shia, like her begging Shia LaBeouf to be in her film, even though like female castmates had expressed concern about working with him because he's like crazy. And she didn't give a shit. Like, but she's one of the women who walks around wearing a herstory t-shirt, women empowering women, the female, whatever. So I can definitely see, I agree 100% that there are people in the industry who are like, their platforms is all about like telling women's stories and they're the nastiest bitches you've ever met in your entire fucking life.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the whole industry, and I think that Sydney Sweeney is like speaking from experience. Something obviously happened to her. I don't know who it is.
I don't know who it is. Did anyone come to mind for you of who it could be?
Yes.
I wonder.
And I have no proof, and I think
it's probably the loveliest person who books so many female like, I don't know why this person just came to mind because I love her.
Let's say it on the count of three. 3, 2, 1. Reese Witherspoon?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to know why it came to mind? Because it feels like Sydney Sweeney is putting together a career that's really similar to Reese Witherspoon in the sense that so much more than just acting. Reese Witherspoon has been producing. She's been like Sydney Sweeney has been producing, optioning books, like building something beyond her own acting, just like getting cast in movies. And yeah, I also got a Reese Witherspoon vibe, and I have no proof.
I have no proof. That's funny that you got the same vibe, though. But also, like, here's a quote earlier this year that a producer said about Sydney Sweeney, which was, like, not nice. And so I guess this is, like, the vibe of what people have to say about her. She said, there's an actress, the producer's name is Carol Baum. I don't know who that is. She said, there's an actress who everybody loves now, Sydney Sweeney. I don't get Sydney Sweeney. I was watching on the plane Sydney Sweeney's movie, Anyone But You, because I wanted to watch it. I wanted to know who she is and why everybody's talking about her. I watched this unwatchable movie. Sorry to people who love this romantic comedy where they hate each other. She said, I said to my class, she teaches at USC, explain this girl to me. She's not pretty. She can't act. Why is she so hot? Nobody had an answer. But then the question was asked, well, if you could get your movie made because she was in it, would you do it? That's a very hard question to answer because we all want to get the movie made. And who walks away from a green light? Nobody I know. Your job is to get the movie made.
Okay, I have to say, I agree with Carol that movie was unwatchable, but everything else she said was so beyond unnecessary, like coming for her looks. And it's like, well, if we're going to criticize all different parts of the industry, like why are you starting with Sydney Sweeney? Right. Like you're not a woman who supports that. There are things wrong with the industry, and I'm sorry, Sydney Sweeney's not one of those things.
No,
like,
and nice Sydney Sweeney's very pretty.
Yeah, like please, what do you look like, Carol? Like let's start there.
Yeah. But there's a lot. I actually who was it? Matt Damon? Is he the one Good Will Hunting? Yeah.
Yeah.
He was doing an interview, I don't know when it was, but he was talking about why the movies that he used to make, like Good Will Hunting, why movies like that don't really get made anymore, and why it's all like big budget Marvel superhero movies. And he said, like, back in the day, like your movie would come out in theaters and it would do however it did, and then later when it came out on DVD, like it was like a second wave. You had like 2 opportunities to make a lot of money. But now that movies just go to the streamers, they have to crush it at the box office. That's where they're going to make all their money. And they're only going with sure things. And that is like the superhero movies, the remakes, the big budget things. So movies that are a good idea that need some time and love and building up more to a cult following don't get made. And that's why the movies. And so like that to me is like something you could start chewing on about the movie industry before you start saying it's Sydney Sweeney ruined the movie industry.
Yeah, and I think like Sydney Sweeney probably gets a lot of flack and like judgment immediately because of her looks, right? She's like this very beautiful girl. She embraces her sexuality, like, and a huge part of like what catapulted her was like her boobs. Like that was like a thing. And so I'm sure she gets like initial shock and judgment from that. But I think if you look at her career, like even if you don't know everything about her, like she's clearly proved herself. She's a very talented actress. She does do so many things beyond just acting. She produces, I think she's like starting a production company. So it is this woman who is supposed to be a professor, like just sort of whittling it down to her looks. Like that's insulting. And I don't know if in this article she's referencing this professor. Feels like
I don't think that she is, by the way.
Me neither.
Because it feels like she's talking about someone that we do know. And she's also talking about the entire industry. It's a blanket statement. I feel like people don't often make statements like that. Like everyone who says women, and she's not even saying Hollywood men and women don't support. She's saying the women don't support the women. So I just have to think of like the women who say they support the women the most. And then I'm like, she's saying they don't.
And like tell women's stories.
Right.
Like who's always talking like that?
It's a pretty, I mean, she's used the word women like a lot in the quote, so it was like kind of hard to read. And
it was painful to hear.
But it is like a pretty big call out.
It is. And this is somebody who's successful, and she's in the industry. I think a lot of people like talk about the industry from the outskirts of it. We're
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay, whatever. But Sydney Sweeney's firmly planted at the center of things. She's on one of the biggest shows. Her movie was huge. She is speaking from experience.
And
she gets in those rooms.
I could see women who purport to support other women, support some women, but not women
all,
like Sydney
universally.
Sweeney. I could see how she's getting shut out for being Sid.
Yeah, I agree. And I know, like, I have no reason to believe this, but is 100% Reese Witherspoon.
No, I'm sorry. She's describing Reese Witherspoon. Someone you all love.
She is, right?
Someone who gives jobs and is, she is. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's all, but yeah. Yeah.
And someone who did accomplish everything she wants to accomplish. They even look alike.
They look alike. And that's the thing. It's like, yeah, you can conveniently support women. Because you think about the women, like Reese Witherspoon is always like casting and championing. Nicole Kidman, Laura Dern. Women who don't really infringe on her place in Hollywood, right? Mm-hmm. They can all coexist without any sort of competition. They're all so different, even though they look exactly the same. But Sydney Sweeney is like, appears to be on her way to building something similar.
Yeah. So
interesting.
Who do you think it's about? Sound off in the comments.
Sound off in the comments.
Our fifth and final story I'm kind of obsessed with. It's one of my favorite tropes. A celebrity dating a reality star.
Oh my God, I love who?
It's so fucking random. So fucking random. Remember Maud's son? He dated Avril Lavigne.
I know.
And Bella Thorne.
Yeah.
And my girl from
He's technically
from
a
the
singer.
DBF show.
He's technically like a singer with fans, allegedly. The only time I have ever heard his name is in regards to Tana Mongeau, Bella Thorne, Avril Lavigne. He dates Yeah.
Well, he was spotted packing on the PDA with Love is Blind star Brittany Wisniewski, who is Brittany from Leo and Brittany from this most recent season of Love is Blind.
Yeah. They got paparazzi'd outside TMZ, like holding hands, leaving a restaurant.
So I think from this article says that they first connected on November 3rd at his concert. So that's like not even 2 weeks ago. While performing on stage, he spotted the group in the crowd. She was with some friends and gave them a special shout out, which he documented on TikTok, saying, respectfully, are both of you on the show Love is Blind?
Oh my God, that's so funny.
He said, my name is Maud. And then in the clip, she could be seen blowing him a kiss before the video cut off. I guess maybe she was going as his, maybe they had already met. That's possible. Now a video taken by TMZ shows them getting handsy while dancing to Party in the USA.
Now, my initial thought when I saw this was like, yikes. It's like not a good look for Brittany.
Why?
Because I think that like when you go on these shows, like you are constantly trying to beat the allegations that you went on for fame. Even though like, and maybe some people go on to fall in love, but everybody's going on a little bit for the fame to quit their jobs and make influencer money. And I think that was an allegation that was thrown around a lot about her, like just being kind of like having her priorities a little materialistic, like even when it came to all the questions about Leo and his money and his watch. And so for her to end up with like a D-list celebrity like on TMZ, like I didn't think it was a good look.
To be honest, I actually think this gives her some credit because in the show, like she says, I've dated rock stars. Maybe like he's an ex of hers. Because when she was saying that on the show, it's like, okay, sure. But now it's like,
okay,
maybe,
Grandma, let's get you back to bed.
Maybe she has dated rock stars. She continues to. He is a rock star technically. Like maybe it's not Harry Styles.
That she said that.
But like she said that she could really be with someone who has a lot of money. Like she's been with that before. That's actually not what she was looking for. It doesn't help that she then went back to that sort of lifestyle. But I think it gives her some credit.
If somebody said to me, Claudia, we'll give you $11 billion tax free, all you have to do is name one Mod Sun song, I wouldn't be able to do it. I couldn't take the money.
I couldn't. I could guess. Like
I couldn't even guess.
Why don't you just like guess?
Whoa, whoa, Mod Sun, yeah.
Like, okay, I'm gonna go to his discography, but before I do, I'm gonna guess like what he could have even have a song called like. Hold on, like the Flames of Love. Okay.
Okay, that's kind of good. Okay, wait. What's like a title of a song that like a lot of people have the same title? Do you know what I mean?
Right,
like,
right. Like something with, I already did love. Do different words than me to increase our chances.
Get You Back.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my...
Claudia, he has a song called Flames with Avril Lavigne. And I swear I've never seen that before.
I believe you.
Oh my God. So do I get like $5.5
$1 billion?
I got half of it. Oh, he has I'd Rather Overdose. Oh, this would have been a good guess. Karma.
Fuck, because I was thinking Taylor Swift songs.
Me too. I was like, God of the Woods.
Yeah.
He has a song called Sunshine. That would also have been a really good guess. These aren't just words we should
Nothing
remember.
Get You Back.
In case some... Wait, I'll go to all his... He has a song called I Told You. Karma, Bones, Flames. Oh, he does one word. Okay, that's good to know.
Oh, so I'm out.
Better Man.
Is he obsessed with Taylor Swift?
Prayer, 20 Numb, Smith, Roller Coaster, Annoying, Porn Star, Internet Killed the Rock Star.
Okay. So no.
Honestly, I feel like we did pretty good. I know we didn't make $11 billion, but
by the way, we're going home empty-handed.
But we didn't embarrass ourselves.
I just don't understand how, and this is just honestly the gender imbalance. Because if there was a successful woman who was on the same level looks-wise as this person, no way would they be pulling women or men of equal looks to Tana Mongeau, Brittany, Avril Lavigne.
You just think I guess let me get
ugly.
I don't like his vibe, but let me get a look at his face.
Yeah,
I actually feel like maybe he has a handsome face behind all that hair and drum kits.
Oh my god, Mod Sun Okay, I just feel the pictures of him are good pictures. No, I'm sorry. I stand by what I said.
I think that if he did something else, he's making himself ugly. He's got nice features. It's so easy for men, though.
It's so true.
You know?
What does he have, a magic penis? He's not even famous.
He's a rock star.
In what world is he a rock
He's
star?
a little, he's in the same ilk of Machine Gun Kelly. They collab. So it's if you're into that.
He's a way less famous... Way less famous Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah.
And that's not a rock star.
But not everyone can have...
They're punk.
Yeah, a punk star. Ask Ben what he thinks of him.
I bet you... That's a great question because I feel like Ben doesn't even know him. Hold on.
Well, then he's not a real punk lover.
Do you know any songs by Mod Sun?
Do you know Mod Sun? Say, do you know Mod Sun?
Do you know who Mod Sun is? Let's see.
I'm so curious.
He's on a flight, so he either will answer in 2 seconds or not at all.
He either got Wi-Fi or he didn't.
Yeah, but Ben always gets Wi-Fi.
Do you always get Wi-Fi?
Every single time. I actually pay for that monthly thing.
GoGo?
GoGo, yeah, which when I was on tour, it was really economical because a flight is $30 for Wi-Fi.
Of course.
Then it's $50 a month. I really need to stop paying for it. I don't travel.
Yeah.
He's not answering.
I don't always pay for the Wi-Fi.
Oh, she's kind of radical.
Sometimes what do those men call it? I raw dog?
You raw dog a flight, yeah.
Sometimes, but sometimes they do free texting and I'll go for that. Or I'll buy a 30-minute pass just to catch up. But I like unplugging a bit.
You're literally living on a prairie.
Living on a prairie. He didn't answer. Okay, so that's a cliffhanger for tomorrow's episode.
Halfway there. Whoa, living on a prairie.
Living on a prairie.
You'll have to tune into tomorrow's episode to see if Ben Soffer knows who Mod Sun is.
And likes him. And if he does, we should take this joke pretty far.
Tickets. Yeah.
We should pretend he's coming on the tour.
Oh my God. He responded. He used to date Bella Throne.
But what about his music?
I think he's some random singer. I know of him, but don't know him. Why? Do you know any of his music? But I think that's a no.
That's a no. No, that
Bella
gave us
Throne.
Bella Throne.
I'm cackling.
What's left to say?
What can I say except Bella Throne?
Nothing. You can't say anything except that.
You guys, thank you so much for listening to the Toast and Lane Morning Show, where we deliver the fast 5 stories you need to know every Monday through Friday on YouTube. So if you're watching us on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and we're also available as podcasts and where podcasts can be found. So it's Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Public Video, iHeartRadio, Castbox, all the places where we listen to podcasts. Find us at Toast, leave a 5-star review, but a beautiful signing in. Wickedly talented we are.
Love ya. Bye.